Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. D. Priyadarshini, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. Today we are going to discuss about principles of cybersecurity in cloud security and ethical hacking. What is cloud security? A set of controls, policies, technologies and services to protect cloud-based system data and infrastructure. The cloud is a distributed environment which can capable of providing more storage space for the volumetric database. Why it matters? Because the data whichever it is stored in cloud is volumeless. So we have to be protect the data. Second one is compliance requirement. Third one is threat prevention and fourth one is business continuity. The cloud is not just a storage space which was maintained by a third party. The cloud service provider provides a greatest security prevention method for preventing the private data. The data security can be measured or prevented with the help of encryption, backup and recovery process where identify and access of MFA, SSO, IRBAC and network security like firewall, VPN, DDoS protections can be provided. Even then, it can have some complaints like regulations, standardless audits to without preventing of unauthorized or hackers to get into the cloud environment. The cloud security challenges are data breach, insecure API, account hijackers, miscellaneous intruders, which is going to the greatest challenge for the cloud service providers to prevent data from the hackers. The advanced persistent threats, data loss, shared responsibility, compliance complexity made these challenges into a greater trouble. What kind of strategies can be followed to avoid such kind of threats? The cloud security has a best practice of providing strong encryption, security assessment, multi-factor authentication, access control like continuous monitoring, data backup and recovery, employee training, compliance authentication, whereas vendor assessment also is a good practice for cloud service providers to secure data privacy and unauthorized user to access the data. What is ethical hacking and how it can be done in a cloud environment? Authorized security testing to identify vulnerabilities before miscellaneous actor exploit them. Not even accessing of the private data, even a malpractice or the unambiguous data was stored in the private sector is also known as ethical hacking. The improved system to meet out the complaints and prevent great breaches, test incidents response are the roles of the ethical hackers. The ethical hacking system which provides some protocols for preventing the data. White hat hackers and black hat hackers are two types of hackers where the white hat hackers having a complete authentication for accessing all the private data which improves the security and reports the vulnerabilities. But in case of black hat hackers, an unauthorized access without knowing or without getting the permission of the institution or the cloud service provider to get access with the private data and exploits vulnerabilities and miscellaneous intent of accessing the private data is or all the things which was done by the black hat hackers. The ethical hacking methodologies which provides a greater system or a model or a framework which can capable of providing a secured data in cybersecurity. That is systematic approach. The systematic approach has a structured phase to identify vulnerabilities and strengthen security. The complete goal of this systematic approach is to provide and discover or fix the security weakness. which is done with the help of clearing tracks, scanning, maintaining access, reporting or gaining access are some of the features how the systematic approach can get helped with the ethical hacking methodologies. The ethical hacking tools and techniques, whichever now the trends in ethical hacking tools are Nmap, Joinderper, Metasploit, SQL Map, Newsys, Wireshark, Bootstrap, Kali are some of the ethical hacking tools which is monitored and also used for the authorized ethical hacker guidelines. The cloud security versus ethical hacking. How the cloud security and ethical hackers having a challenge between them. That is, the cloud which has a definitive approach, it is already having a firewall system for unauthorized access and also for the hackers. The continuous monitoring was done, that is 24/7 monitoring and was done for the data whichever it is stored in cloud. Implements controls like encryption, access control and also the complaint driven like regulations and standards are the preventives or the primitives of cloud security. Whereas the ethical hacking system has an offensive approach. It might be a simulate attacks or periodic assessment or identification of vulnerabilities and proactive testing methods for finding the attackers or before the attackers attacks the data. So these challenges is going to be a greater trouble for the storage or the service provider, cloud service providers for giving an access permission for storing the private sector or private data. Hope these conclusions is going to be justifies how cloud security and ethical hacking is going to be competed. Essential for digital protection. Cloud security and ethical hacking are critical for safeguarding digital access in today's interconnected world. Continuous learning requirement, the rapidly evolving threat landscape demand ongoing education and skill development. Whereas the cloud security defensive approach recast cloud infrastructure and data. The ethical hackers proactive testing to identify the fixed vulnerabilities, where the complementary domains cloud security defense infrastructure while ethical hacking proactivate identifies vulnerability. These two sectors have a different or contradiction about whether we have to give permission for unauthorized access or after permission of giving all the access we are going to find the hackers. Such kind of controversies exist between cloud security and ethical hackers. I hope you have understood what is cloud security or cloud services and what is ethical hacking and how it plays an important or impact on cloud security. On cloud security, we'll discuss some of the topic in next video. Until take care. Thank you.